So in this video, I'm going to show you guys my step-by-step basic tutorial on how I would go about building out a brand new WordPress website for this business here, this old website that's been sitting around here for like 7 years now. It's one of my old lead generating type of websites designed to climb on Google and get found, generate leads for a junk removal business owner. But I'm going to show you guys how to rebuild this simple, ugly, boring website that's basically just the homepage, about page, a contact page, very, very basic, still following the rules of SEO. But I'm going to go ahead and change this website and change it and transform it to something new using my WordPress template, my instructions on ChatGPT, and just to show anybody that even a guy like myself, who's almost 50, can start something new, like go from being a truck driver to being a SEO website design guy, and show you guys how I basically designed this entire thing from scratch completely on my own. Sometimes I sit here and just, I'm blown away that I actually did this, because I don't consider myself to be super bright or anything like that. One of the things I am is pretty damn stubborn. So I'm going to show you guys how I believe that anybody can build their own website, an SEO optimized website. And I'm going to show you guys the template that I use, the ChatGPT prompts or AI prompts or Claude prompts, whatever you want to call them, that I use to help me write the entire content of the website. And I'll show you how I could basically build an entire homepage, probably in around an hour or so, and then start structuring out the service pages at a later time. And basically, I could build a full-blown website in less than one day if somebody hires me out to do this. And I'm going to show you guys how building out this website. It's a website I would probably charge somebody about anywhere from $2,500 to $3,000 to set it all up for them. And this is the knowledge and skills that you can learn on your own and use my template to build out some SEO optimized websites that I guarantee you will rank extremely well on Google, especially if you're not in non-competitive markets and things like that. But let's go ahead and go with it. I'm going to show you guys exactly how I do it and how you guys can do it for yourself. So let's go. I'm building out a website here from scratch for a junk removal business out in Santa Barbara, California. So the very first thing I do, go to Hostinger. I go to Hostinger. I have accounts with Hostinger, Bluehost, GoDaddy, all kinds of places. And I can build as many websites as I want. With like Hostinger, I think you pay like $150 or something like that. And you can build up like 20, 30 websites under that same hosting. So it's great. So I'm going to go ahead and add a website. I'm going to show you exactly how I do this. So it's going to be a plain WordPress website. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this right here so I can put in my username and password real quick. Okay, I went ahead and put in a password here. I'm going to hit next. And it's going to have the options. I think they all do this now. GoDaddy, Bluehost. They all want you to use the AI stuff. I just, no. Just go create a blank website. You can attach your domain name to this. But what I'm going to be doing, I already have that website live right now. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to transfer the domain over to this Hostinger later. But you can use a temporary domain to build a website as you go. So let's go ahead and do that. And this usually takes about 2 to 3 minutes. You see this little thing installing the website. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this. And when it's up and ready, I'll get it going. Okay, that only took about a minute and a half. So there you go. I got my blank WordPress website ready to go. Let me show you what it looks like. Nothing special, nothing great right here, but that's it. Just a plain blank WordPress website. So the next thing I want to do, the very first thing I want to do is get rid of this Cody thingy here. Let me see if it's on here. Let me go ahead and see if this Hostinger tools is on here. Let me just deactivate this. We don't want this thing bugging us. Deactivate, and that's pretty much it, right? So we'll just deactivate all the plugins that Hostinger gives us. We don't want to deal with any of that crap. So the very first thing I want to do is go ahead and add the theme, and it's going to be add theme, and it should be one of the first ones that show up on here. You can see all the popular themes right here. But I use Hello Elementor, the absolute most bare bones, basic theme that's out there. And the reason I used this was because I'm a very simple guy. I like to make things very simple. The more complex, the more things, bells and whistles something has, the more you get delayed, and it just sucks ass. I don't like doing that. So I just install this. And in installing this, what's going to happen is WordPress is going to want you to install Elementor, right? That's the drag and drop website builder. This is why people go to Wix and Squarespace, because they think it's easy just because you drag and drop things. That's going to make the website design really easy. Well, in actuality, sometimes it's a pain in the ass because everything starts floating around on you. But in essence, this is what this is. So I go ahead and install Elementor as another plugin. into your WordPress website. I describe plugins to people don't know anything about websites and Hostinger. Websites and WordPress. I describe it as like apps for your phone. You upload apps and apps and apps to your phone. It just gives you different features, right? So right here, they're going to want you to create an account with Elementor. We're going to bypass that. We don't want to pay for anything. This whole thing's going to be cost you absolutely nothing. We're not going to pay for a single thing. So let's skip the setup. Skip. We don't need any of this. Let's just close all this out. And now you're going to see Elementor's up on ready to go. There it is. Okay, so it just builds one page for you. We're just going to skip that. Let's go ahead and preview this. This is what your website looks like now. See that? They created this home page for you. There's nothing on here. Let's go back to the dashboard. There's a couple of plugins that I need to set up right away. Again, the plugins. So let's go ahead and install some plugins. The very first one we're going to need is Yoast. This is how I do all the SEO stuff. Oops, let's go to Add Plugin. Yoast. There it is. Install this. Activate. And again, it's going to ask for a bunch of features. Do you want the premium features? Do you want to configure everything? We don't want to deal with any of that stuff. Let's go to the actual list of the plugin here. It's got a little, see, it's going to just close everything. You don't need any of this stuff, right? None of it. You're going to see Alert Center. This is where this red dot's coming from. Notification. We already saw it. We're good. Done. That's it. Close off everything. We don't need any of this stuff. It's just overcomplicate shit. I'm not a very, I don't like the complexity, basically. The more simple, the better. Next plugin we're going to add in Ninja Forms. Whoops. This is how I create my forms. Ninja. The email form. So we'll go ahead and install that right now. Installing. Activate that plugin. And now we are good to go. Okay, the Ninja Forms is on here. Again, they're going to want you to upgrade and pay for extra stuff. So this is what I use for the email forms, right? So I'll show you guys a quick example of some websites. So this is where I create these email forms right here, just like this one here. And for this paving contractor right here, you're going to see this is how I create those email forms on the website. Okay, so the next thing we're going to add now, the next plugin we're going to need is an add-on to the Elementor theme builder. So the reason I create this extra plugin is because it helps me create these headers here and these footers on these websites. Same thing with this. I always tell people it's kind of like a hamburger. This is the top bun and the bottom bun. So this is what we're going to work on first. So these pages the header and footer will show up on every single page of the website. So I'm going to show you guys how I do that right there. And the reason you want to add this plugin is because it also gives you these little extra images that you can add on things like right here and like this right here. It gives you a lot more. Just the basic Elementor gives you really generic ones and they suck. I don't like them. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's go in and add another plugin. Let's go to Add Plugin. Let's type in Elementor again, and it should be the kits. This one right here. Install. Again, it's 100% free. Activate it. And there you go. Now you have it set up over here. Watch. See, now you have all these plugins. You got Elements Kit. Yoast is on here. They show me the notification again. Let's see what it is. So I just get rid of it really quick so it doesn't bug me. There we go. Done. Okay, so plugins again. There you go. And another one we need to add is, let's go ahead and another one. It's called the reviews. So this is how I add reviews to the sites, like these right here. The Google reviews will be embedded on the sites, just like that. Just like this, make it look nice. So what I do is add another plugin, and it's called the reviews. I just usually type in reviews, and it's called Trust Index IO. There it is right here. Go ahead and install this right here. And we're going to go ahead and activate it. And what I'm going to do is connect my Google Business to it. for my little agency here. It busy right here. There it is. Go ahead and connect it. And then you're going to show how you want your reviews to show up. Usually I just show up with a block, the grid, I think they call it, the grid right here. Let's do this one right here. This is how I want my reviews to show up, like this. And you just could select through here how you want them to look, all that good stuff. And I center them all out. Save and get the code. Now you don't have to worry about getting the code because the template that I upload already has everything already set up, so you don't have to worry about any of that stuff. Okay, so that's it. All the plugins are ready to go. I'm trying to think if I need anything else. Other than that, I think we're good. There's Yoast again bugging me with something else. Now let's see what it's asking now. We don't need to analyze anything. Done. Okay. Let's close this off too. See how you just get bombarded with stuff? You don't need any of this stuff. So now let's look and see what the website looks like. Still looks like nothing, right? So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to create the header and we're going to create the footer. So let's go ahead and do that. And you do this with the Elements kit. However, since we just uploaded this on here, you're going to get a lot of promotion crap again. Here we go. You want to do all this stuff. You don't want to do any of this. Hit next, continue, next step, complete setup. Done. You're done with all that crap. Now we just go to header and footer. The very first thing we're going to do, we're just going to go ahead and set up the header. So go up here to header, add new template. I'm going to call it the header. It's going to go throughout the whole site. So we're going to turn this on. We're going to edit the content. And now you're going to see, let's close this off. We don't need any of this. We don't need any of this. And I have the file already saved up for the header. So let me show you really quick. Let's go ahead and upload my template for the header. Let me go to my desktop. I have all my templates saved on here, my templates. And here is the header. Boom. Upload the header, continue, enable and import. Now we just wait a little bit. There it is. Now I'm going to insert this. And there you go. And you're going to see it just looks completely odd, doesn't it? So what we need, this is where you put the menu, which we do not have. We're going to add this later. I'll show you how to do that. But we're going to go ahead and add the logo for this business. So like I said, I just created this image for this website. Let me show you what it looks like here. Got a phone call there. Let's see. Let's go ahead and upload some media. I have a page I just created right now. This one right here. Here's the logo I created. I'm going to go ahead and name the logo. It's going to be called in Santa Barbara. There it is. Logo's ready to go. And then what I also want to do is I want to make sure that it's going to look good on mobile and on the tablet and all that stuff. So what you want to do too here is, let's see here. Click on this. Click on the menu here. So where was it at? Layout. There we go. Mobile menu. So when people click on the menu button, we want to make sure the mobile image will be the same. So we'll upload that same image, pop it in here. Then we're good to go. So, and another thing you want to do is with this image, let's go back to this. With this image is you want to make sure that it goes to your home page here. And then later on, when we add the domain name to this website, this should change to the URL for the new website, which is, I think, Junk Removal Santa Barbara or Santa Barbara Junk Removal, either one of those, right? This will change. And so anybody clicks on the image, it'll go to the home page. So we'll go ahead and publish this. Now you're going to see, there it is. Now we got the menu. You don't have the menu up here, but we're going to be adding it soon. Okay, so next, go back to the dashboard. Now we're going to add the footer to this website. So let's go to the footer, header footer, Elements kit. Um, Add new template. This time it's going to be footer, right? I'm going to place this in the footer. It's going to go through the entire site. Oops. Turn that on. Edit the content on this footer. Again, I have a file for this, so I don't have to create it from scratch. But I've done that in the past. I completely created these things from scratch. But let me show you again. So now I'm going to go ahead and go to my desktop, have my templates here, my templates, and here is my footer. Go ahead and add this in here. There's the footer. So we'll go ahead and insert this footer. And there you go. Footer's ready to go. Here's the logos, all that stuff. I could change this later to the hours operation, but I just wanted to put this footer on here. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this right here. This is where you add your Google business profile, the map listing. So let's get rid of right here. That's why I put that on our good Google listing. So you know to add that there. Let's go ahead and add that logo that I just created. Put it in here. Hold it all, Junk Removal Santa Barbara. Good to go. Again, same with this image. What you want to do is make sure you add your URL for the homepage. Put it in here. Hit publish. Now let's take a preview of it. And that's what the footer looks like right there. And then you're good to go. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and start building out the website. We're going to start with the homepage, make sure it's 100% SEO optimized right from the get-go. I'm going to go ahead and upload pictures and all that stuff and get it ready to go. So now before we begin any of this website design, website, whatever, right? What we want to really focus on is the content. It's going to be search engine optimized for the specific service. So in this situation, it's for junk removal services in Santa Barbara, California. And I use ChatGPT. I use Grok. In this situation, I've already pre-used Grok. I already kind of did the whole process, but I'm going to show you exactly what I did so I can write all the content of this website 100%. And it's done for you basically with these machines, which is great. The main thing you want to really focus on is creating that kickoff prompt, right? I always call it the kickoff prompt. Here's the kickoff prompt that I call it. So when you're using AI, what I like to explain to people is imagine yourself, you hired a college kid who's an outstanding writer, right? You're a junk removal business owner. You're paying this kid $100 an hour to write your content, right? The kid walks into the room and you tell him, listen, man, I own a junk removal business here in Santa Barbara. I need you to write 1,500 words of content for my homepage of the website. There you go. And then you walk out the room and you leave the kid right there on the computer ready to write. He's going to go, okay, I'm a great writer, but I don't know anything about your business. I don't know anything about your industry. So what's that kid going to go do? He's going to go, and you're paying him $100 an hour. So he's going to do the work. So he's going to go online and he's going to start looking at other junk removal websites, the junk removal industry, learn a little bit about it, and it's going to start to structure out pages according to what it's learning as it goes, right? So the more, now let's say that student, you sit them there and you tell them everything you know about your industry, exactly what you do, how long you've been doing it, the services you provide, the more information that you give that student, the better the writing is going to be. And this is why I created this kickoff prompt right here. You could see all of this right here. What I do is I copy this, and then anything in black, I fill it out. So which is exactly what I did. I want to show you guys what I wrote here to show you how great this content is going to be. So I've just put it here on this word counter just to show you guys the text, right? So I'm going to use Claude for this. Like I said, I already pre-used it, but I want to show you exactly what I did. So I tell it, I'm building a website for my junk removal business out here in Santa Barbara, California, and I need your help writing all of the content. Before we begin, let me tell you everything I can about my business so you can get the full context. Just like if I hired a smart college student to sit in front of me and write this for $100 an hour. Here's what I need you to know. My business name is Haul It All Junk Removal in Santa Barbara. How long you been in business? Since 2019. I think that's when I built this website, so I might as well, probably sooner than that. So I just said, go with that date, right? Where do I provide my services? I provide those in Santa Barbara, Goleta, Montecito, and Carpinteria, all in that area. Okay, so what services do I offer? Basically, a full service junk removal company. We get rid of everything. We provide appliance removal, furniture removal, commercial junk removal, property cleanouts, construction and demo type services, debris removal. We even do light demolition, things like sheds, break down cabinets and bathroom stuff, old decks, pergolas, playground sets, trampolines. We haul off larger items that need to be broken down and be hauled away. We get rid of extra garbage when people have extra garbage that their normal garbage collection won't pick up. Same for businesses, pretty much full blown junk removal company and services. Okay, what makes me different? Here's what makes me different. We're just a smaller junk removal business here in Santa Barbara. We're a local community, grew up in the community, started with business in the community. What separates us from the rest is that we treat our customers like neighbors and family, which they are. Every house that we go to get rid of junk, we treat them with respect and we treat them with getting rid of the trash as if we were getting rid of the cleaning up our own mother's houses. And of course, we're licensed and insured, typical stuff. What makes us a little bit different is that we are extremely affordable for the area since we're not one of those big national chains like 1-800-JUNK or the Junk King or anything like that. Those companies need to spend a tremendous amount of revenue or some of their money for advertising to keep things going for themselves. And this is why they charge so much for their services because their ad spend is so expensive. What makes us different is we're local. We get word of mouth. We just do local advertising. We get found on Google, all that stuff. So we don't have to spend that very little on advertising. And so we pass on those savings to you, people in the community. Okay. My values. Here are some of the values when it comes to this business. We always feel like we need to treat people right. We always feel like we need to treat people with respect, have honest work ethic. We will arrive on time. We arrive when we say we're going to arrive with integrity. If we're running late, we let our customers know that we're running late. If people can't afford our services, we hit them in the right direction and give them tips on how to get rid of them themselves. Just stuff like that. Anything else we should know? One more thing our customers should know is that we're an ambitious bunch. We've been entrepreneurs and have the spirit in us. And learning about entrepreneurship and business, we clearly understood that the best way for any business to flourish is providing a great service or a great price. And yeah, go on. And I so basically just tell Grok all of this stuff, right? So I copy this, put it into Croc, and then it tells me, okay, awesome, great to find that out. And then it's going to ask me if additional questions that it wants to know, right? Is there an owner's name? Do you recycle, donate items? So I'm like, oh, okay, that's one thing that we did forget to mention. We recycle items. I do recycle and donate. Now stand by for further instructions. And it says, love that. Recycling, donating is a big deal in Santa Barbara. Echo cautious customers will really respond to that. It's a great differentiator worth highlighting throughout the site. Standing by, take your time. Okay? So that's what I did. So now I educated the chat GPT and all that stuff, right? So now what we're going to do is going to build out the homepage. Let's go back to the WordPress website. Let's go back to the dashboard. And what we're going to do is build a new page, add a page. Okay. And it's going to be the home page. I'm going to go ahead and publish the page. And we're going to go with edit with Elementor. Now we're good to go. Now I can start from scratch here, start building it out, add content, add the heading, add an image to the background, all that stuff, right? That's how I actually built these sites to begin with when I did it for the first time ever. And that's how I designed the whole thing. It's like Legos. I have a new set of Legos and I just completely build it from scratch, but I don't need to do any of that crap because I have templates that I've created myself and I use over and over and over again. And so in this situation, I'm just going to upload the home page so you guys can see how that works. Let me close this off. I'm going to go ahead and upload this. Let's go back to my templates. I go to my arrow and upload the template for the home page. Here it is. I'm going to go ahead and open this up. I don't want to see this anymore. Continue. Now we wait a few seconds. It's going to upload this little file. There it is, my new home page. I'm going to go ahead and insert this, apply. There you go. There is my home page for my site, right? And you're going to see this home hovering over here. It's a simple fix for this. just go to the settings here and go in here. It says page layout. We want to make sure this is a full width page. This is why that home is showing up there. And there it is. Homepage is ready to go. It's a little wonky to begin with. Once you click on it, everything gets fixed up. But here's the page. It's ready to go. And then we're going to go ahead and start adding the content. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to change this background over here. You know what? No, let's go step by step how I actually do this. So the very first thing we need to do, now that Claude or ChatGPT, whatever you're using for the AI writing the content, now it knows everything about your business. Now we can get busy and start adding, fixing the very first thing you need to do, which is the SEO title and meta description of the homepage. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go to Yoast SEO. This page is going to be for junk removal, Santa Barbara. I always misspell it. There you go. So this is the search appearance. This is where you add the SEO title and the meta description, right? So then I go to my school group here that I created. This is where I have all my prompts, right? So I go in here and I'm going to go ahead and work on the homepage. Proper SEO title and meta description, right? This is why I have a little description so people can see what they need to do, right? So here's the prompt that I have. I copy and paste this. I already did it on here, right? I'm going to need your help creating the homepage of my website. Refer to everything you've learned about the business. Then, using that information, create 5 variations of an SEO title and meta description. The main keyword will be junk removal Santa Barbara. And then I tell it what to do. All right. So there you go. It gives me 5 variations to pick from. And I'm going to go ahead and pick this one. Let me see which one I would like. I think I like the very first one. So this is going to be, whoops, right here. Junk removal Santa Barbara. Sometimes I put in here in Santa Barbara. And I'm going to put in here, we haul it all. Oops. Like I said, if you have the room, go for it. Go ahead and add a little bit more. It's going to make it look good. The slug, this is just going to be the home page, and then the meta description. Let's go and see what Grok gave me. I mean, not Grok, Claude gave me. So let's see here. Which one did I like? I think it was this one that I liked. Let's go back to the home page. Serving Santa Barbara since 2018. We remove appliances, furniture, debris removal, local, honest pricing, no surprises. Get a free quote. Let's see how it's orange. We don't want that. So I don't know why it gave me that. Free quotes. There we go. Now it's all green. Perfect. Now it's good to go. SEO title, meta description is set up. Now we're going to move into, this is called the H1 title tag and an introductory paragraph to this website. Okay, so let's go ahead and work on that. I have a prompt just for that as well. So let's go here. So I need, right here, I'm going to need help writing a strong H1 title tag for the homepage of my website based on everything you know about my business so far. The main keyword is going to be yada, 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 right? So I just use this entire section here, copy this, paste it into Claude here, which I already did right here. And then it spits out 4 different variations that I can use. So I think the one I liked was this one here. Trusted junk removal in Santa Barbara. So let's go ahead and add this on here. Trusted junk removal service in Santa Barbara. Sometimes I like to add the state here, just like that. And that should look good right there. And then what did it put in for? Let's see here. One of these I liked. I think it was this one. Since 2019, we've been Santa Barbara's go-to team for junk removal services. And there we go. Perfect. Again, it's all because of that kickoff prompt. I told it exactly what I wanted and not what I wanted. Everything about my business was now, it made it a much better writer. It knows what to write about for my business with the instructions that I've given it. So there you go. There's that introductory little line there that should have the keywords for junk removal services. So the next thing I want to do is change this button, right? So let's go ahead and change this to a phone number, which is call call us. And I'm going to put, I'm going to add a phone number to this website a little bit later. We'll just make one up right now. Let's do that. And then what you're going to want to do is going to go on here. The link should be TEL semicolon 805 712 4455. We just made that number up. It doesn't work. But there you go. So when you set up your number, you know what? I don't like us. Let's just use call. Let's do that. That's better. Call. And then you're good to go. That should do it right there. And so when people tap on this on the phone, it should go straight to a phone call right here on the phone app. So that should be done. You're good to go. Next thing I want to do is going to go ahead and upload an image for this background. I have a bunch of images already I'm going to save up right here. It's got all my images here. So I'm going to go ahead and upload my images that I saved here. This one here, I just wanted to use for this website. It's a bunch of just generic pictures. And then all these. That's why I like WordPress too, because it makes it easy to upload all these pictures. Like compared to Wix, oh my God. You got to put them on some different folder, and then you can use them on a site. It's just, no. This is why I still don't mind anything with Wix. It's fine. But I prefer the way it works with WordPress here. So there you go. So I'm uploading some of these pictures. You could upload as many as you want, resize them or whatever thing. But there you go. Like I said, I'm just going to use these for now. I'll interchange them later. But yeah, all this stuff I learned basically on my own. Oh, it looks like some of these pictures I couldn't use, which is fine. We don't care. They're the wrong format, but we only need a few anyway. So this one, I'm going to use this for my homepage, and then I'll title it. This is what they mean by alt text. Now you need to tell Google what this picture's about. It's a junk removal service in Santa Barbara. There you go. There's the image in the background. Now I want to make sure it shows up on a tablet and on the phone. Perfect. I'm checking everything to make sure everything looks good on the phone too. I did do a lot of work to make sure it does that with my template and my design, so it's already good to go. So the next thing is the features right here, based on everything we know. So I have a prompt for this next section, right? I made it super simple, super simple for anybody, right? So trust build feature section. See how I made this image to show people what we're going to need to work on next. So this is a simple prompt. I'm going to need help writing some features about this business. Go ahead and write me out 10. Then you can make them 2 to 4 words long based on everything you know about this business so far. See what I mean? So now you go on here. I did that right here. And it came up with all these. Here are 10 features for your business, 2 to 4 words long. Licensed and insured, locally owned and operated. I like this one. Let's go ahead and use this one. Right? It knows everything about my business already. Let's go with on time, every time. I like that one. People don't want to be sitting around waiting for their services, right? So let's do that. That should do it there. And let's go ahead and do eco-friendly, especially in Santa Barbara. They like all that kind of stuff over there in that area. There you go. That should do it. So this next section right here is where I tell people you need to remind your customers why they were online in the first place, right? There's a reason they went on and typed in junk removal in Santa Barbara. So you're going to remind them here with this section. And I created a prompt for that as well. Here it is right here. Remind your customers of their problems. Here's that image where I show people what you're going to be working on next, right? Again, I did all of this stuff for myself. So list 10 problems the ideal client or customer needs or is looking for in a junk removal service in Santa Barbara. What problems are they facing? Issues are they having that would make them search for a business online, more specifically on Google? List and write these 10 problems out as questions. Write the questions as the particular business owner was actually asking the client or customer those questions regarding the service they're seeking, yada, 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 right? I copy that, put it in here. There it is. And it came back with these 10 questions. And I always ask it 10. Sometimes I ask it 12, sometimes whatever, because I need 7. And I pick the ones that I like and start putting them onto this homepage right here. So I put this on here. This is the one I like for the main one. And usually what I like to do just on this one is capitalize the first letter on each word. It's just a preference of mine. I just think it looks better this way, right? And this is an H2. And H2 basically supports what the page is all about. So there you go. I don't even know where to start. There you go. You could condense this, make it smaller if you want. You could do this right here just to show you options that you can do. All right, so let's say you wanted to do this 50, 69 pixels, same as this one. See how it makes it smaller, right? Or you could just leave it how it is. I don't really care. I just leave it normally like that. I think your clients don't really give a shit. They just want their junk removed or their carpets cleaned or the asphalt paved, whatever the service might be, right? So then I just go in here and add whatever other questions that I liked. I like this one here. Is your garage packed or with crap and you want to get rid of it? But there you go. And it's amazing too. When I started to learn this AI stuff, how I was like shocked how good some of this stuff was. But then as I started to use it more and more and more and more, I started to realize is that the better you are at um, articulating the information about your business, the better the content comes out. And that's why I've done it so many times now. And I'm like, holy crap, this is amazing. This is how you write great content. And you should have seen years ago, I used to either sit here and spend days writing a homepage. I mean, especially a homepage. Geez, man, it used to take me hours and hours and hours just to write the homepage of a website. Sometimes I didn't want to do it. So then I'd go on Fiverr or I'd go on Upwork or I'd go on one of these platforms and I'd get somebody, let's see here. Let me find one that I like. Right here, this one, I like this one. I'd hire somebody to write all this content for me and they wouldn't follow my format. It was frustrating. I'd get some foreigners and they'd write some just horrible gibberish. And then and sometimes the worst thing was too that you'd have to send it in and you'd wait days to get it back. Then when you got it, you read it. Sometimes it was misspelled, it's garbage. You tell them to rewrite it. It was a whole process. It would take you sometimes a week, 2 weeks to get all the content. Now you can do it all in one sitting if you want. So let's go ahead and continue with this. Now we need to tell them that you are the solution to their problem. So here we go. So I have this image for that as well, right? So I've created this prompt right here. It's going to create another H2 and an introductory paragraph too. So I just copy that and put it into Claude or ChatGPT or whatever you want to use. Here it is, how I did that right here. And it gave me some variations right here. Hauled it all, junk removal in Santa Barbara, simple and affordable. I like this one here. So I'm not going to be super picky with everything. But when somebody hires me, I really look through it and see which one looks best, which one sounds good. But it's good that it gives you some variation, right? So let's see. Whether it's a single item, I like this one here. Pop this on here. Paste. Good to go. Then right here, I'm going to switch out my logo with the logo I set up right here. There it is. And then so you don't have to deal with this button thing. Just copy the entire button. Just copy the button, paste the button, and delete this old one. And then boom, you're good to go. Pretty simple, right? So now we're going to go into the features. You know what makes you different and all that stuff. But before I go on there, let me go ahead and change this here too. I created this logo here, a little round one. That should overlap. I forgot to upload it. Let me upload it. Here it is. And again, I'm going to rename the picture. Let's go ahead and name it. Junk removal, Santa Barbara logo. And there you go. Sometimes it gets big like this for some reason. So you just got to go to medium and into thumbnail and then bam, there you go. Looking sharp, looking really good. So I'm going to go ahead and change this background image. I call this a little 6-pack right here. So I'm going to go ahead and change this really quickly. Change it to another logo I have. I think I like this one here. I renamed the image too. I'm going to put this time, I'm going to put Santa Barbara junk removal services. This is all this extra SEO for the page. There you go. I'm going to make sure it looks good on a tablet. Looks good on mobile. Everything's looking good on mobile. Looks nice. Looks nice. Looks nice. Like this right here. I don't know. I could maybe. Nah, it looks fine. I was going to change the font, but it's fine. It's fine. So let's move on to this next section here. The solution, which I think what I end up calling it. I call it why, how, and why we can help section. This section right here. So I'm going to show you guys the prompt that I created here. I need your help writing 5 short website sections that highlight the business core values, what we went over our first prompt. The section will help answer the problems the customer client is asking, refer back to those 10 questions we asked, yada, 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 right? It's going to write all this. I'm going to copy this, put it into Claude here, all of this right here, and it's going to give me 5 to pick from right here with little headlines to go in each one. Right. One of the problems I did run into was it was adding this M dash. Man, oh man, do I hate that M dash. So I had to redo it again. Give me all of those, but remove the M dashes. So there you go. It removed all the M dashes. So I'm going to go ahead and add these onto the site. So let's take a look and see which ones I like. That makes sense to me. So let's go ahead and go with, let's see here. No hassle, no headaches, just results. The first one I liked was real answers from real people every time. Let me see here. We're here to help, not to sell you. I like this one right here. Right? That's kind of my philosophy. I'm here to help you, not to sell you. Right? That's the way I feel about doing things. Some people will use my information and go ahead and do their own thing. Perfect. Here to help. But if somebody needs extra help, I'm here to help them. So let's take a read of let's take a look at what it wrote here, just so you guys to see how well this damn thing writes. When you reach out to us, you talk to a real person who actually listens. We take the time to understand what you need, explain your options clearly with no confusion, jargon, no pushy upsells. If there's more affordable ways to get the job done, we'll tell you about it. We want you to feel confident and comfortable before we show up at your door. Just how we do things here at Santa Barbara. So I love that. It's wonderful. Right. So let's go ahead and paste that on here. And then we're going to go ahead and change this here, the logo, to something like the Google reviews logo or something like this. There you go. And see, that's another thing. Excuse me. That's one of the reasons I added the elements kit, because the ad gives me more of these little, what do you call them? Icon library. That's what it is. Okay. So this next one, let's see which one I like here. On this one, easy to work with. I like this one, on time, every time, right? Your time matters. We take it seriously. I like this one. Let's go ahead and do this here. Perfect. Let me read this really quickly. We know your time is valuable. We don't take it lightly. When we give you an arrival window, we stick to it. If something unexpected comes up running behind, we'll call you always. Junk piling up is always stressful enough. You see what I mean? Remember in the beginning prompt, I told it how we are or have integrity. We want to show up when we say we're going to show up. If we're going to fall behind, we want to let you know. See, that's what I liked about this stuff. It really listens to what you tell it to write. So let's go ahead and do this. There we go. And then I'm going to put calendar just to let people know this is a calendar image. Perfect. And what's the last one to pick? This is why I give it 5. Sometimes I want to pick some that feel good, I guess. I think I like this one here. Born and raised here in Santa Barbara, right? I think people like local things. I know I do, right? You want to root for the little guy. That's what it is. So we're not some big national chain like 1-800, like with a 1-800 number or a corporate office somewhere across the country. We grew up here in Santa Barbara. We built this business right here in the community we love. That means we know the neighborhoods, we know the people, we genuinely care about doing the right thing. Oh, right by them. When you hire us, you're supporting a local family business, and we never forget that. The local pride shows up in every single job we do. Isn't that crazy? Unbelievable. You know, especially for an old guy like me, I was like, shit, man, I can't believe I'm writing content like this now. So on this one, I'll do a little handshake. I like that one here. Perfect. And there's the button again. Let's go ahead and duplicate or copy it. Paste it here. Let's get rid of this one. And we're good to go. So now we're going to do this here. We're start introducing the services. There's one thing I do need to fix on here. I don't like this color of the text. Let me show you. So I go into the pencil. It's gray. Let's make it black. There we go. And I think the font's a little too big, just to show you the options that this thing can do. All right, let's go with the light. No, I don't like light. Let's do normal, but let's make it just a smidge smaller. There we go. That looks good. Now let's go make sure it looks good there. I want to see, make sure it looks good right there. Okay, that looks good right there. So now let's continue to start introducing the services that we offer, right? So again, I have another chat for this. Let me show you really quickly here. Start introducing your services. There's the section right there. Introduce your services. Okay. So I have a prompt for this, and I just basically copy and paste this entire thing, and everything here in black, this is where I need to tell the ChatGPT or Claude or whatever, all the services that I'm going to offer, right? So it just gets an idea of what everything we do. It probably already knows from the beginning kickoff prompt, but I just basically retell it so it can continue to understand what we got going on. I already did that right here. Let me show you. I wrote it all right here, and I put in the services in here, right there. And it gave me some variations right here. 3 different variations to put into this thing. And I'm gonna take a look at some of these. I think I liked this one here. You know what? I like this one better. Santa Barbara junk removal services that are honest and affordable. So let's go ahead and put this in here. Now, as you watch, you see some of these are H2s. See, that's an H2. These are not H2s. This is an H2. This is an H2. I might consider changes this. I don't think you need to make this an H2, but I'll just leave it how it is. So H2s basically, it tells Google search engine, as well as your customers, that this is going to be about junk removal services. So these sub headlines kind of support that, and you can clearly see that, right? Santa Barbara junk removal services. This one here, junk removal services in Santa Barbara. We're reaffirming that to the search engine, so we get make sure we get found for that search term. So, and then it goes for this paragraph here. I like this one here. Kind of tells our customers all the services. I'm about to introduce the services and where we do those services: Santa Barbara, Goleta, Montecito, Campineria, all that good stuff, right? And there we go. Now we fill in these services. So you see on my template, I have 9 here, but in this situation, I'm only going to do 6. So I'm going to go ahead and just delete one of these sections. I don't need it. We're just going to do 6, right? So if I want to do the 9 again, I just need to duplicate. There you go. Now you got this section there. But right now, I'm going to do 6. And then I set this up as a secondary Google Business Profile category or service page. It's kind of one and the same. So what I'm going to do is basically services. These are going to link out to other pages in the future when I start building out this website even further. But I just wanted to show you guys how I start to do this. So I created a prompt for this as well, right? So let's go to here, service descriptions with SEO optimization. Here we go. I just copy and paste this prompt. Then I go into right here, and I tell it all the services that I'm going to offer. See, I copied and pasted on here, and here's the main services: commercial junk removal, debris removal, light demolition, appliance removal, furniture removal, property cleanouts. And then it just gave me the description and a little title for each one. So then all I have to do is just copy and paste all of this stuff and put it into this right here. And here we go. There we go. And then the description here, let's go back to it, is right there. And the great thing about all this stuff too is you don't have to worry about spelling anything. I did create a link to a page, so we're just going to go ahead and get rid of this right now. We don't need this right now. We'll add that later. And I had such a hard time with spelling back in the day too. Anything I wrote, there was misspells like you can't believe. I was like this blumbering idiot when I wrote anything online. So when all these tools came out, man, it was a godsend for me. So I don't have to deal with this shit anymore. And it just made me a better website guy. You know, I guess that's what you could call me, a website guy, right? Commercial junk removal. And I did make my start with junk removal. So I was able to get better and better at the writing of things and which pages they needed and all that stuff. Clutter and junk removal in the workplace. So when everything is written, now I know what should be written, what shouldn't be written. You don't want to overwrite certain keywords and things like that. So I got this thing trained very, very well now. So property cleanouts. Let's go with this here. I keep having something in my throat, maybe because I'm yapping so much. All right. So let's keep going right here. And then what we're going to be doing is adding the pictures here in a bit. Debris removal. Debris removal is a good one, right? Especially for junk removal business owners, because it's one of the main categories that you need to select. And then from there, you can build out like 5 or 6 different pages under the category of debris removal, right? Like storm debris, construction debris, home renovation debris, all kinds of things like that. So that one's there. Whoops, I forgot the property cleanout one. Let's go ahead and do that right here. But you see, I'm saving hours and hours and hours of writing here by just simply doing this here. And light demolition, that's another one, really good one for junk removals. If they're doing that service, you select, I think it's demolition contractor on the Google Business profile, and you use that and you start building out pages for that as well. So let's go ahead and do this. Put this on here. And this one too, property cleanouts, is a big money one for a lot of guys too. But there's a category for that. It's called house clearance services. So appliance removal. So we're going to go ahead and start adding pictures here. Something remotely looking like an appliance. There we go. Right. And I'm going to rename all these pictures, right? Some of these pictures I have from years ago from people that aren't even in business anymore. Let's do appliance removal, Santa Barbara. But do you see what I mean by, oops, I didn't write that right. Making sure you title the page correctly. There we go. Oops, I added it to the wrong one. Let's go over here. Here it is. Now what I'm going to do is resize this picture because I want them all to be the same size. I will be updating the template so we don't have to deal with this later. There we go. That makes it a better size right here. Furniture removal. Let's go ahead and add a picture for furniture removal. Let's see if I can find one that looks like furniture removal. That was a good one right here. So I'll be deleting these pictures later, redoing them with other ones that I have that don't have any like logos or anything like that. But right now it's just for display. So you guys see what I go through. Santa Barbara. And look at me how I peck on the keyboard. I can't even type. So if you guys don't think you guys could do this yourselves, I mean, you're sadly mistaken. I can't type. I can't write. I told people when I got out of high school I could barely read. I didn't understand shit when I read anything. So I just had a hard time when I was a kid. The only thing I was good at, I always tell people the only thing I was good at was math and PE. That's it. So commercial junk removal. Let's go with this one. What's a good one for commercial junk removal? Looks good. Let's see if I can find a good one for commercial. I don't really see one. Let's just go ahead and use this one. That looks good. Sometimes I just do basic stuff like junk removal services, like this. I'm going to go ahead and resize this picture too, even though it looks like it's already the right size, but I'm just going to put 700 by 500, apply. Oops, I guess it was good before. Let's go ahead back to what it was. There we go. It's a little off, but I'll fix that later. Property cleanouts. That's a pretty good one. Property cleanout. This looks like a property cleanout right here. Let's go ahead and use this one here. Might be a little small, the picture, but we'll see. Property cleanouts. You know what? Let's do a different one. I don't really like that one. Let's use this one. Say these are just temporary pictures. I'll add better ones later. Let's go ahead and custom size this one too. I think it already is 700 by 500, but just in case. Let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, it is. Debris removal. We'll do like something like construction debris. There you go, yard waste. That's perfect. yard waste debris. Select that. That one's already the right size, so I'm not even going to mess with it. But you know what? I'm going to fix it so if I ever want to duplicate this page, everything will be in line. Let's do that. And then light demolition. Let's do this one here. Light demo work, Santa Barbara. But you see what I mean? I'm labeling each picture, make sure everything is legit. Oh, I hate when I do that. I do that sometimes on accident. I forget to switch, but that's okay. Where's it at? Who's this one here? Now this one here. Okay. Where was it at? This one here. Let's go ahead and resize this one too because it's too big. 700 by 500. And then we apply that. And there you go. That's good to go. So now we're moving right along here. So on this one, I don't really have a prompt for. And so what makes it different from other service area and the service you provide in your Google Business Profile category or your main service? So I just go in here from other Santa Barbara junk removal services. There you go. What makes us different? Santa Barbara, oops, forgot this one. Again, this is another H2 to, again, reaffirm to Google that this page is about junk removal services in Santa Barbara. And then I have a prompt for this as well. It's a really short one, easy one I made a long time ago. It's right here, right? What makes us different statement for a junk removal service using the following framework. I just copy and paste this into Claude here, which I obviously did right here. And then it came up with 3 different variations for me to pick from. And I think I ended up using this one here. I like this one here. So you need to tell your customer what makes you different. There you go. And here's that button again. So I'm going to go ahead and change that button. I'm going to copy this button, pop it in here, delete this one. Good to go. Now I'm going to change this logo again to the logo I made earlier, which is this one here. And then we move on to the 4 steps. Okay. Now for the 4 steps, now you might have a different process when it comes to what your customers expect when you call. Some of you guys might have 2 steps, some 3 steps, 6 steps. But I basically set it up for 4 steps, what your customers can expect when they land on your business or your website or anything like this, right? So I created a prompt for this as well. So here's my prompt for this. Tell them what they can expect. So when a customer reaches out to your business, what can they expect? You need to tell them. The more clearly you tell them, the better chances you are of them showing up and giving you a phone call or filling out the email form. So here it is, right? Right, what to expect section that outlines 4 steps of a company service process. Use friendly, reassuring tone, yada, 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 right? So I copied and pasted this into Claude here. Here's what I put it on here. And it came out with, of course, 3 variations for me, which is great because it helps with, creativity. You go on there and see which ones you like, which ones you don't like. And it's awesome. It's really, really awesome. So I think I ended up going with, this one here. Getting rid of junk removal in Santa Barbara has never been easy. Never been this easy. All right, so let's go ahead and do this. And this is another H2. There you go. And then we'll put in the line that it gave us right here. No guesswork, no stress, no guesswork. Nice and simple. There you go. Here's how it works. And then I just add the steps that it created for me right here. Give us a call, reach out for a free estimate. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful right here. So there's my 4 steps. Oops, let me get rid of these right here. They're just confusing me. Let's go right here. Wait, did I just copy and paste that or no? No, I did not. I got the gibberish right here. The filler content. Perfect. And then we go on here. Because the reason I do this too is I've called places and I don't really know what to expect. I'm like, wait a minute. In my own head, I'm thinking to myself, okay, so if I call this carpet cleaning company, what exactly is going to happen? Right? Are they even going to answer the phone? How does the whole process work? Right? Or like, think if we've rented for my grandson, we might have rented like a bounce house one time, and we went on there and like we rent bounce houses, and that was it. It's like, okay, what's going to happen? We call, we fill out an email form. We just don't know. So the more clearly you tell your customers, this is what I like to do on my own website. I tell people exactly what's going to happen. You book a call with me or whatever it might be. Try to make it clear to people, and it's going to make them more prone to wanting to give you a call, right? So let's go ahead and change this here. There we go. And then finally, this last one here. Fill this in right here. And there you go. The steps are good. What can they expect, right? And then check out our great reviews on our junk removal services and the service area, and then the junk removal services. So let's put Santa Barbara junk removal services. Right, and this is where the AI, not the AI, I'm sorry, the reviews are going to be going. This is where we set up the reviews. So it should set up on here when we're done. They'll automatically go on there. The code's already on there. Let's go ahead and copy this button again. Let's put it on here. Delete this one. I'm going to go ahead and change this logo here. We're heading down to the finish line here on this home page. There you go. And this one, we'll change this to get a free estimate today. Right, and then we're going to go on here and say, here's another thing I created too. On this one, I didn't create a ChatGPT prompt, but I did create right here the final call to action. Different things. See right here? Add your service here, in the email form here. And I created some right here. You could just pick and choose, just real simple ones here. Let's see here. Which one was a nice and relaxing one here? Here we go. I like this one here. Let's put this on here. Whoops, I don't know why I put an 8 and a 9 on here. Let me go back. What did I do here? What did I do? Just copy this. That's all we need to copy. We need to copy the crap. All right, so let's get rid of this. That's better. Okay. For junk removal in Santa Barbara, just like that. Let's capitalize it for me. Unbold it. We don't need to bold that out. Just like that's fine. Fix the period here. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and put this on here. Get a free estimate on our junk removal services. There we go. Everything's looking good. Give us a call. This is where I'm going to fix the phone number here. So you do the same thing here. Just get rid of this. And you just put in the phone number here. 712-4455. Like I said, I completely made this up. And then you just highlight this. And there's a link here to create this into a phone, a clickable link to a phone number, semicolon. And then you put that phone number with no spaces, no dashes, or anything like that. Oops, 4455. Whoops, there we go. Apply. Perfect. Then a final call to action. So I have a prompt for that as well, right? So I go on here, final call to action. And I have a prompt I created here. Please help me write a short final call to action. Here's the prompt. I put this into Claude. And I popped it in here. And this is what it gave me right here. Some to select. And I think I ended up liking this one right here. So final call to action. Tell them, hey man, don't you want your crap gone? We're the guys to call. We're your guys, right? There you go. Let's get your space cleared out. Boom, 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 boom. Now we just need to fix this. So basically what I need to do is just copy this because I like the button. Looks good. Pop this in here. Put that in there. And then where the phone goes to as well, we need to fix this right here. Copy this. Then there you go. Now let's check it out and see if it's SEO optimized right from the get-go. So let's go into the settings. The featured image. So we want to fix the featured image. This is what will show up on the search results when Google wants to show up the search results. So we'll just put this right here. Featured image. Yoast SEO. Focus keyword. Junk Rule Santa Barbara is 100% SEO optimized right from the get-go. Readability is perfect. It loves the readability. Even though I don't really care about this too much. Sometimes it comes out a little yellow, but I don't give a crap. Most of the time it comes out green just by following my instructions and all that good stuff. Now we hit publish. Now we're going to take a look at the site, see what it looks like. There you go. There's my homepage, 100% done. I don't know how long that took to create. But now I want to show you guys some extra features of the WordPress website. I don't like these colors, so I'm going to go ahead and change all the colors, and I'm going to change the links to this color. So let's go ahead and do this. The site settings, the overall site settings of the website. This is where you could change. It's called the global colors right here. This is the main color. So I'm going to change it to Dodger blue. So I'm a Dodger fan. You guys can obviously see Dodger blue color code. Here it is. That's what I want the website to look like. But there's websites where I show people where you can just find the color code that you want for your website, match your logo, whatever it might be. Or you can just move it yourself, move it around, stuff like that. Secondary is fine. Let's go ahead and add a couple colors. I always like to add like a third and a fourth, just in case I need it for other things. Third color. I'll just put third. I'll go ahead and make this one red to kind of match that logo that I got going on. That's good enough. And then I'll add another one, the fourth one, just for different things that I might need in the future. Let's make this one like a burgundy, like a burnt orange or something. That'll work. All right, so then we save the changes. Now you're going to see the website's going to look a little different. There you go. Now it's matching the guy's shirt, just like that. It's looking good. And then, like, if you want to change certain fonts, you could change the fonts. I might have to change this one. I don't like that one. Right there. And here's another thing you can change is the clickable links. Don't really like these links, so let's go ahead and change that. Let's go with site settings again. And then after this, I'll show you guys how to add the menu to the site, right? So always under typography, go on here and it goes to the links. So let's go ahead and change the links to, let me change it to red, right? So now the link's going to be red. Let me show you really quick. And when somebody hovers over the link, what color do we want it? Let's make it burnt. There you go. And there you go, and there you go. And so that's set up and ready to go. Save the changes. And now we're good to go. So now let's go ahead and add this menu, and we'll finish things up here. So to add the menu, first of all, what I want to do is I'm going to add 2 pages, even though they're going to be completely blank. I'll build these out later. Maybe I'll make a video for this. Contact. Publish. Okay. Now, edit with Elementor. You're going to see it's just a blank page. There's nothing here. I'm going to go ahead and preview this page. I'm going to add another page. This is going to be the About page. Again, it's just to build the pages so we can start building out the menu. I'll show you how to build the menu. There it is. Edit with Elementor. There's the About page, right? So let's go ahead and click all of these off. And before we continue, what I want to do is I want to make sure that homepage we just built is going to go to the main homepage of the website. So you need to go to the dashboard, go into settings and a readability here. And it's going to ask you, so you want a certain page to be your homepage? Yes, I want my homepage to be my homepage. Save the settings, save changes. Now, when I visit the website, there you go. This will be my homepage. When people click on it, it's my homepage. Now let's go ahead and add the menu to the site. Sometimes this works, sometimes it gets a little buggy, but I have 2 options to add the menu, but let's go ahead and add the menu. See, we don't have a menu, so we create our first menu. I'll call it main menu. It's going to be in the header. Create the menu. There you go. See, it got buggy on me. That's okay. I have another option for it. So we go back to this, go to customize here, menu, create a menu, main menu. It's going to be in the header. And then we need to add items to the menu, which is going to be your home page, about page, contact page, publish. There we go. Now we close this off. Now, what we need to do is go back home here, do the menus again. And now we're going to add it again. Let's see here. There it is. Main menu number 2. Save the menu. I know I'm making this look easy, but just got to go through it little by little. Okay, the menu's not showing up right now. Oh, I know why. What we need to do is go back to the header, right? Remember how you built the header? See if there's no menu on here? It's still blank. So we got to tell this that we want to set up main menu number 2 here that we just set up. There it is. Hit publish. There it is. Now people click on it. There you go. The menu's set up. Good to go. Now I'm going to show you guys how to build this button really, really quickly here. Let's go to the button. Go back to the menu. You go to custom link, create a custom link. Just put in a hashtag symbol here. And I'm going to put in this right here and the word button. And then that symbol there. And then get a free quote. That's what the button's going to say. Then we put in the symbol again and the forward slash to end the button, if that makes sense. Add to the menu. There you go. Save the menu. Now when we go back to the site, now it's going to have a button, but the button's going to suck. So we want it to look like this one, right? So we need to go back to the site settings again. Go to the site settings here. Buttons. Now we're going to fix the button. We want the text on the button to be white. And then we want the button to be the Dodger blue. There we go. Then we want the border on the button to be solid and thin. And we want it to be gray. There we go. And then I want the button to have like a round. See how this is round right here? Let's make this round right here. I usually go by 10 here. There you go. Now it's round. Now we save changes. And there we go. There's the home page of the website. Ready to rock and roll and good to go. And see the reviews have showed up now that we set up earlier. And this page is 100% SEO optimized. And then if you guys would like, I can go out and start building out all the service pages, which are going to be much faster than this homepage because I've done a lot of the dirty work here, uploading my images, the template, and all that stuff. But there you go. I will finish up with the Ninja forms here in a second. So the final thing I'm going to do is just set up the email form here. And this is the way I'd like to do it with this free plugin, the Ninja Forms. So let's go ahead and Ninja Forms right here. Go to the dashboard for Ninja Forms. Not now. We don't want any of this crap right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add a few fields here. Let's go ahead and add address. Let's go with the address here. Put this to the top here. Phone number. Where's the phone number? Phone number, phone number, phone number. Oh, there it is. Phone number. Make this go here. There we go. And we're going to add a checklist box here. Right, and I'll show you why. And usually for junk removal business owners, I like to do this. I'm just going to go ahead and copy this one here. Right? Where is your junk located? That's for the address. I try to get creative, right? So let's go ahead and do this. Required field. There we go. Check. This one here, what I like to do is this. How soon do you need your junk removed? Let's go ahead and fix this here. And then I give them options, which is in about a week, in the next few days. So let's go ahead and fix that. Let me close this one so it doesn't confuse me. In the next few days, what did I select this? In about a week, right? Things like this, or however you want to do it. It's completely up to you. I'm just doing this right now, how I've done it in the past. I like this one here. And this for the third option here. Pop that in there. Good to go. This is required. Name, of course, is required. Phone number, required. Right. And then since it's capitalized, I'm going to go ahead and capitalize this as well. To make it all match. Phone. Make it all match. Email. And then message. Usually I add something like the description of what you need removed, and I make this optional. Oops, I copied everything. We don't need any of this stuff, right? Let's copy this. And this one, I don't have that required. And then the button, I want to make sure the button clearly states, get a free quote or something to that extent. Hit publish. Right, I'm not going to go into the email actions. I'll do that in another video. That'll take too long here, but that's it right there. We'll close this off. And here's the short code, Ninja Form number 1. We copy that, go back to your website here, edit with Elementor. Let's scroll down here. And here's the email form. It's a Ninja 2 already. Ninja 1 right there. Whoops. I don't know why it's doing that. Let's just go right here. Just make sure it fits right. There we go. Hit publish. Now let's see what this bad boy looks like with the email form in there. And there you go. Oh, I don't like this right here. So I'm going to show you guys how to fix that really, really quickly. Go back to the dashboard. Go to the Ninja forms. Go to the form. Go to advanced. Go to display options. I don't want it to show that right there. Publish. Again, I made that look incredibly easy. And there it is. Now it doesn't show it. But that's it. I'm going to say later on I'll make another video. We'll see how great this video did. It's the longest video I've ever made and uploaded. But I wanted to see if people might be interested in seeing how my whole process is in building out a website from scratch. So my next step here would be, usually I'll build up the services and then I'll start doing each service. I'll build with the same format, same template. I have my prompts over here. I'll go back to my little group here. All right, so when I go to the group, I have my prompts here. And you'll see my service page. So I'll close this one off. Right. And then I'll go into my service page. And I have prompts for each one of these service pages right here. I'm going to do the exact same thing over and over and over and over again. And that's how I do it. And then the way that I did this here, my template, I did a much slower version. I have the entire template where I just hit upload and I upload the whole thing. It gives me about page, contact page, the whole structure. So you don't have to go through all everything that I just did, even though it's still pretty quick. It does it fairly quickly. But there you go. And now something like this, if say this a junk removal business called me up in Santa Barbara, this is exactly what I would build them. You know, I would tell them I would recommend more than 6 here. I would recommend the 9. I'd start building out a demolition service page, appliance removal page, furniture removal page, and then start breaking that even further. You might not need to though, because Santa Barbara, check the Santa Barbara population. Santa Barbara population. I don't even think it's 100,000. Yeah, see, 89, 90,000 people. It's not very big. It's not too competitive. And a website like this one here, perfectly structured, designed perfectly, great images, all that stuff. connect that to a Google business profile. Let's say that business absolutely kicks ass to get a lot of reviews, uploading pictures on there. Maybe they get a couple of links in the Chamber of Commerce, things like that. That should do extremely well for them and get them ranked on Google. I'm still going to finish this website. I'm going to restructure it. I'm pretty damn sure I can get this thing to #1 slot underneath the map listings. If it generates leads, cool. If it doesn't, I don't give a shit. I'm just building it out as an example to show you guys that even a regular schmo like me can build out a website like this for any business, following my prompts, my template, and all that good stuff. So if I can do it, I think you could do it. Just put in a little bit of effort, put in a little bit of time. I know that you can do it and do it for yourself. So this is perfect for a business owner that doesn't want to hire somebody to do this for them and it's going to charge them an arm and a leg. They don't have the money for it. They can do it themselves. Or if you're a website design guy who wants to learn how to do this stuff and the SEO and all that stuff, you can see the website's 100% SEO optimized right from the get-go to get things going. So that's it. Other than that, that's all I got for you guys today. If you guys want to learn about my SEO stuff, I have links in the description below. My template, my design, my school group, everything. Basically do what I just did right here. You guys can do it all yourself. Everything in the description below. Other than that, that's all I got for you guys today. Until next time.